let's get standing here. We're going to wake the energy up, prepare the body for the day and a nice weekend ahead. So let's inhale and exhale. And today's going to be a little bit about hydration. You know, it's obviously very warm out here, and we need to stay concerned with our hydration by drinking lots of water, but we're also going to hydrate the fascia from and inside the body with the moves that we do. So feel your breath start to smooth out. And now we're going to start moving into the fascia. It's a system that wraps around our whole body, okay? Keeps our muscles together, does lots of things. The feet are hip-width distance apart, okay? So we're going to be engaging the muscles, starting with the arms. Spread your fingers wide, and then press your feet into the mat. Lift up through the knees. Feel your glutes engage. Exhale, and then as you inhale, just lift your heart. Take your hands slightly back. We're not going like this. We're just going slightly back, and slight look up toward the sky, and you'll feel all of the muscles engage, and exhale, release. And see if you feel a little bit of tingling energy moving through the body. And that's how we're going to be deepening our breath right now. So engage everything, the arms, the fingers are spread wide, the knees are lifted into the thighs, the feet ground down. Inhale the arms slightly back, shine the heart forward, slightly lift the chin, and release. And then one more time like that. Inhale. And as you release, that hydrates all of the tissues that you just engaged, okay? So now we're going to come back to hip-width distance apart, and we're going to release, okay? So, and start to open up the shoulders, the knees, and the hips. So knees and hips are soft, and your hands are palms up, and the fingers are touching. Inhale, float the arms gently up. Keep a bend in your elbows, and then exhale, release it back. Inhale, up, exhale, back. And just pay close attention to your shoulders, to your lower body as it moves. And then if you're called to, go ahead and take this a little deeper on the exhale. If you want to stay with the smooth movement, that's feeling just fine to you, you do that. Or you can just release. Inhale and exhale, breathe. And after your next exhale, just come back to standing. All right, we're going to work the shoulders a bit here. So have your feet slightly wider than hip-width distance. Take your elbows bending, but your hands are kind of coming in. So we're not in a goalpost. We're here. And we're going to roll forward and open up. Roll forward and open up. So it's like an abbreviated with the arms, cat-cow movement, right? The spine is going in that direction. And maybe the next time you roll your arms back, the heels come up. If that feels good to you, keep the heel lift. If it doesn't work for you, then just focus on the shoulders. Either way is going to be fine. And then release your arms to your side. Find standing mountain pose, feet hip-width distance apart. Close your eyes for just a moment and see what you feel in your body right now. See if anything's starting to open up, move, or switch around for you. Okay, now, so that was forward and back of the spine. Now we're going to go side to side. So standing tall here, we're not locked out, but the spine is nice and engaged here, nice and long. The knees have just a natural bend. We're not trying to bend them, we're not hunched over, okay? And taking your right palm, face up, draw it up through the center of your body. Now flip it and reach straight overhead, drawing ribs away from hips. And come back through center. Take the left arm, palm up through center, flip. When you get to pretty much the crown of your head, reach up toward the sky. Now we're going to just do that more smoothly. Interchange, reach, and reach. One of the things we're doing by bending at the wrist and pressing the palm up is we're opening the fascia in the arm so that as we release, once again, hydration. Yes. Next time you find yourself up at the right, just hold here and just move into the sensation of what's happening here. What are your feet doing? What's the right shoulder, right arm doing? And then switch sides and hold here. Yes, I don't know if cats can actually do this, but she sure looks like she's trying over there. Bring it down and shake out your arms. Come back to standing and see if you feel anything. Inhale and exhale. All right. So we did a lot of waking up the shoulders too there, right? Okay, so now we're going to take the body side to side. And this is where we're going to put the block in between our thighs. All right, we're going to have a slight bend in the knees, but we're going to try and twist only from the waist. Okay, that's why the block is here, because you'll notice right away if your hips are going with you, right? That'll happen, but we're going to try and move from the belly button up with a nice long spine. Inhale, reach your left arm over to the right, come through center, right arm over to the left. It doesn't have to be a big move, just go in your range of motion. But are you noticing how your legs are staying nice and steady? Squeeze in on that block. And we're still getting a beautiful twist out of it. So sometimes we twist and add the legs, even the foot. This morning we're doing it this way. We don't always do everything the same exact way. Next time you're over to the right, just stay here, feel that movement, take your gaze toward your left fingertips, and then come back through center, holding over to the left, take your gaze towards your right fingertips, hips are still forward, right? Adjust if they kind of wiggled with you, and come back center, shake it out, and put the block near your mat. We're going to use it again, but we'll be down on the mat the next time we use it. All right, so let's assess here. How's everybody feeling? Inhale and exhale. All right, we're going to be working our way down to the mat. So come to the top of your mat here. Okay, inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, remember those hip creases. Swan dive over your hip creases. If you want to, you can just put your hands in that portion of your hip so you know that you're at the right place. Let your hands come to wherever they land on your legs this morning. Bring your hands to your thighs, set the hips back, knees bend, shine your heart forward. We're going to work from here for a moment. Straighten your legs and let your hands slide down. Only as far as they want to go. Now bring your hands back up to your thighs and lift. So you're going to go fold and half lift, fold and half lift a few times. When you do your half lift, the heart is gently shining forward, but we're not whipping the head. And the next time you're in your half lift, stay there. Now keeping the core engaged, the spine long. Yeah, we finally said the word of the day, core, yeah. And go ahead and bring the hands down. We're lowering the hips, let the hands come down, step back to downward facing dog. Feel 4 points of contact as you balance yourself in your dog. There's even weight distribution between your hands and your feet. And let's go ahead and start warming up the bottom of this dog, pedaling the feet. Really focus on those feet, the nice toe roll that you get, the heel lift, the heel press. Just really pay attention to that. Press one heel down and hold. Press the other heel down and hold. Press both heels down and hold. And then bring the knees down. Maybe they touch at the same time even. Sit off to the side and take your legs forward. Find seated mountain pose with your feet flexed. Shake, give your arms a little shake. Wiggle those wrists around. Inhale and exhale, and then come up to a nice tall seat here. Even though your body is at a right angle here, see if you can get the breath to flow all the way into the toes. Good. And release. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate for 1 second, and then you'll come and join me. We're going to be doing heel taps and toe taps. So you want your block within reach. Just watch for 1 second. You can have 1 foot down. We'll start with that way. Toe tap, flex the foot, heel tap. Notice that my knee is staying at a right angle. I'm not doing this. That's a nice move, but that's not what we're doing this morning. Then we'll try that on both sides, and then you'll try it on the block. If it works for you on the block, great. If your back is like, I was happier here, that's where you're going to work, okay? Everybody ready? So come on down. All right. Good morning. Welcome. All right. So to begin, we're keeping the left foot on the mat, taking the right knee to tabletop, and keeping that right leg at that exact right angle. Point the toes, tap down and up, flex the foot, heel down and up. Bring the right foot down, take the left knee up and point the toe, tap down and up, heel down and up, and bring the left foot down. Okay, another way to do that that's going to engage the core a little more is work with both knees up. Let's try that. Starting on the right, toe and up, heel. Oh, you feeling that? And left, toe and heel. All right, now here's an option. You can try it on your block. If you already know you don't want to do this, don't do it. Okay, put the block under you. We're going to do it one time with the foot down, right knee up, toe and heel, and keep the right foot down and left leg up, toe and heel. And then try it with both knees, right toe, up, heel, up, left toe, up, heel, nice, up, release. Decide if you're staying on the block or coming off the block, if you're working with knees up or 1 foot on the mat. We're going to go 4 right, 4 left. Everybody ready? Raise your legs, wiggle at me if you're ready. Everybody's got a place they can be for this. All right, here we go. We're going on the right, toe and up and heel and up. 4 times, toe, up, heel, up. You can come off your block anytime it stops working for you. Heel on the right, one more toe, and heel. All right, bring it in for a moment. Take a little break. Draw your knees closer to you for a second. And then come back to tabletop. Remember the variations. Your right foot could be down or leg up. You could be on or off the block. Here we go. Left, 4 times. Toe and heel. Toe. Yes, we're going this slow, right? And heel. We're not flinging the legs around. Core work we do nice and slow. Toe and heel and toe and heel. All right, now both feet to the mat. Everybody, if you're on a block, come off, put it to the side. Everybody just let your spine settle down for a moment. Be nice and neutral. Okay. Inhale and exhale. All right, so go ahead and take your arms long out to the side, and we're going to do super gentle. Just let those knees come side to side. We are engaging the obliques here. The feet are a little wider than hip width distance. Side to side. And let's go ahead and while we do this, let the head go side to side also. Head goes opposite way of the knees. All right, that was a nice little break. Now we're going to turn this into a core movement. Yes, we are. Take your hands 6 inches away from your hips, down by your side, and draw your knees in. Now you can always go back to 2 feet on the mat here. Actually, we're going to keep the arms long out from the shoulders. And we're going to let the knees go to the right and left. We start to feel those obliques working a little more. Remember, you can always put your feet down if that's better for you this morning. Now, take it to the right and extend your legs. Bring them in and come center. Take it to the left, extend your legs, bring the knees in and center. Either keep that leg extension or leave it out as you continue to go side to side. Still, we're going slowly, mindfully. We started on the right, so the next time you go left, not leaving anything out, not rushing, bring it in, hug in. You might hold your hamstrings or your shins. Release the spine, rock a little bit. Bring the feet down. Let the knees gently open and close. Little butterfly wings here. Inhale and exhale. All right, so a little hip opening here in this open and close. We're going to do hip opening through Apanasana now. So we'll start with 2 feet on the mat. Extend your right leg long, 2 arms overhead. Bring your right knee in, hug it in. Remember, you could be holding your hamstring or your shin, whichever is better for you, and your knee. This puts way more pressure on the knee, so keep that in mind. Let's do that again. Extend right leg, arms overhead. Ardha Apanasana, bring it in. We're going to do that 2 more times. Extend, bring it in, extend, bring it in. Okay, right foot down. We're going left leg long. Extend, bring it in. We're going to hold here for just a little bit like we did on the right side. And then 3 more times smoothly through. Extend and in, extend and in, extend, in and hold, and release. Go go ahead and let the knees open and close. Little butterfly here. Okay. Now we're going to take both legs, extend arms overhead, knees in. 4 times. Extend, knees in, extend, knees in. One more, extend, and knees in. All right, and just wiggle around. Take your legs hip-width distance apart. Make some room for the feet. Point and flex the ankles. Circle them one direction and the other. All right, now bring your left foot down. Take your right ankle across the left thigh. We're going into a version of pigeon, but we're going to be moving around. Okay, so have your right foot flexed. Draw your right leg in as you lift your left foot. Hold on to your right shin and let the hip move around. We've been going forward and back and side to side, so maybe focus on making some circles here. And then if the hip is saying, well, I would rather you move this way or that way, then go ahead. Now you're going to cross tightly at the thighs. You've made an X here. Hold on to either your ankles, your shins, or even the outside of your legs, and continue moving through. Just releasing that right hip. Notice how the right hip is feeling. And unwind, release. Take your left ankle across your right thigh. Important to keep the left foot flexed here. Draw the shin in and move around. Notice how this side is feeling. If you're making circles, make them one direction and the other, right? We always want to be doing that kind of stuff. And then make a tight X with your thighs. Hold on to wherever you reach here. And move around. Notice how this side feels. Release, unwind, 2 feet to the mat. Now if you had a tighter side, you're going to work that side. If your sides felt even this morning, I'll tell you when to switch. We're going to come into this pigeon with the top foot flexed, ankle over thigh. Draw the shin in and just move around. Move around through. If you had a hip that felt tighter, just move. Stay there or switch to your other side. And then release, unwind, 2 feet to the mat. Let's just take a moment to see how things are feeling and come to hands and knees. All right. So just a quick reminder, I think we went over this in yesterday evening's practice. So we want, when we're on hands and knees, of course you can move your wrists forward, of course you can be working at the wall. We're going to be coming into a push-up. So what we want to do is roll the shoulders back down on the spine so that the elbow creases are facing forward. And when you come in, you'll be longer than this. You'll be here. When you come down, your elbows are going straight back. You're using your triceps. All right, so take that nice long posture here. Arms are ahead of you, so you can come into a knee down plank. Roll the shoulders down your back, elbow creases facing forward, and push up here, down and up, hips to the heels, and keep going. Plank, push up, hips to heels. Yep, oh, nice. You don't have to be on hands and knees. You can get that same exact action at a table, chair, even right in the air. Woof. All right, when you feel like you're ready, come into child's pose. If your block is still within easy reach, you might want to play with letting your head rest on the block. You want your forehead to be touching something. It could be at the mat, could be a pillow with your hands, on your fists, wherever you are. Yes. One of the reasons we always want the forehead engaged, first of all, we don't want the neck to have to support the head here, but the center of your intuition is right at that spot in the forehead that's touching right now. So you're waking up your intuition to guide your practice. All right, and then float your way into a beautiful downward facing dog. Inhaling and exhaling. And find any journey that you want, bringing your feet to your hands. Bring your hands to your thighs, hips back. Shine your heart forward for half lift. Roll the hands down into that forward fold we were doing earlier. And then float the arms straight out and up. Lift, lift, lift. Inhale. And shake the arms down. Whew. All right. So take a moment to see how your body is feeling. We are moving into sun salutation. Okay. If you want some padding for your knee because you're doing knee down planks, make sure you have your pad there. Okay. We're coming to the top of the mat with the feet hip width distance. All right. And everybody knows sun salutation. So we're going to go through one time just all the basics. Okay, so the feet are hip width distance here. Inhale, long arms, float them up. Exhale, folding from the hip creases. Long spine here. The hands touch wherever they touch. They might be on the legs. They might be, or you might have decided to only go to here in your forward fold. That's fine too. Bring your hands to your thighs, bend your knees, hips back, shine your heart forward. Now remember, we're going to sit, engage the core, and instead of rounding to get the hands to the mat, we're going to sink the hips as much as possible, then bring the hands to the mat, step back with your right leg, and come into this nice lunge position, left knee over ankle. Wiggle around a little bit. Come into knee up or knee down plank, your choice. And remember those elbow creases forward. Now if your knees are up, go ahead and roll to the tips of your toes here. And then chaturanga, see how that feels. Oh, okay. Hands are under the shoulders. Lift them off the mat, roll your shoulders towards your ears, down your spine, elbows are heading towards your waist, cobra here, release. And then find your way back and up. If you want a power challenge here, go ahead and put your hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes, gaze towards your mat, press yourself with a long spine, halfway up, the rest of the way up, and back. Another way to get to down dog is come into table and down dog. Another way to get to down dog is to stay in table, right? This is your practice, always, always your practice, right? We're letting our intuition guide our moves here. All right, now find a nice journey, feet to the hands again. When you get there, hands to the thighs, half lift. Folding forward from the hip creases. Keeping the lower half of the body super strong. Upper half of the body is super light as you float the arms out and up. Palms touch. We're going to do something different here. We're going to take the palms together, Draw them right through center and continue. Fold, half lift, sink the hips, hands down, step back with the left. Lunge. Wiggle those hips around in your lunge. Find your way to plank, knees up or down. So remember, if your knees are up, maybe you roll way to the tips of your toes. Elbow creases are forward. Chaturanga. Lift the hands, hands-free cobra once. Lift up, take it down, and do it again. Hands-free cobra, elbows to waist. You could do this, of course, just standing too. And release. Find your way to down dog. You can power lift through or table to dog or table and stay there. Remember, your practice, your way. And then go ahead and take a journey, feet to the hands. Half lift. Roll your hands forward, fold, and float the arms out and up, palms touch. And hands come heart center. Come back to mountain pose and just assess how everything's feeling. A couple of breaths. Good. Inhale and exhale. All right, let's shake things out a little bit. So that was the sun salutation, one round of it, and we're going to do moon salutation 2 today. I don't mean 2 as in the number, I mean as well. So let's start preparing things for the moon salutation, okay? We're going to, okay, we need to do a little balance first. So let's take the feet hip-width distance apart. We'll get to the other stuff, don't worry. Hip-width distance apart, okay? We talked about being nourished and hydrated, and let's think about how trees spread their roots deep into the earth to maintain their hydration, right? They provide us nice shade for cooling on hot days. Set your gaze on something that isn't moving, calm your mind. The feet are grounded, the body's grounded, hands to the hips, take your right heel up, right knee out, and plant that foot. If you feel like it's time to lift your foot right now, you lift your foot. Try and keep it off the knee, and try not to take that knee where you're starting to crank your body back, okay? Open your knee, but keep your torso forward. If you want to have a light touch on something, like a wall, a chair, or table, that's always good too. Come back to center and release. Trying that on the left, hands to hips, up, open. Maybe you already did yoga and you're just ready to move into tree. Feel free to break out into any tree that you want. Yep. Okay, here we go. Your practice, your way, and release. All right, so if that's working for you, we're going to go into tree all at once with the arms up. You can do that, or you can come back hands on hips and right knee out to the side. Right foot lands somewhere on the left leg. Bring your hands to heart center. And if that's working for you, maybe you do grow your branches right now. And then bring your hands together and release. Whew. Ready on the left? Is everybody good here? Anybody need anything? All right, let's go. Either just fly right into it or hands to hips, left knee out, plant your left foot, hands to the heart. And option, grow your branches. Steady gaze, calm mind, and release. All right, let's go ahead. Everybody has this, right? So go ahead and play with your tree on the right and on the left. Okay, so you're in control always. You can just kickstand your heel. You can take your foot up. You can bring your hands to your heart. You can sway in the breeze. You can be a monsoon. Woo. Okay, think about how grounded tree roots are, and then they lift their branches so gracefully to the sky. And work each side. Paying attention to how each side is doing this morning. And then once you get back to mountain pose, close your eyes and just feel how the body feels. Inhale and exhale. All right, so now we're going to take the legs wide, wider than hip width distance with the toes turned out, hands to the hips, and bend the knees over the toes and straighten. Knees over toes and straighten. We're going to go 5-pointed star to moonflower. 5-pointed star to moonflower. We'll see this in our moon salutation. 5-pointed star to moonflower. One more time, moonflower, and up and release. Okay, so we're going to prepare for triangle here. Turn the right toes to the right, left toes in at an angle. Arms are out and long. And reach and release. Reach the right arm forward, release. Reach right arm and release. Now reach with the right arm and just let it come to your leg. We are not changing position to try and get that hand lower. Turn your right palm face out, and if it works for you, take your left arm straight up. You might gaze towards your right toes, toward the center of your space, or towards your left fingertips. This is triangle. Bend your right knee. Bring both hands to your right thigh. Turn and face the right. Now you might bring your hands down to the mat if they go that far, or just gently to your leg, and bend and straighten the knee a few times. And then hold back in whatever extension works best for you, without locking out the knee, but we want to get that nice hamstring stretch from the pyramid. Come on back up, arms out, bring your hands to your thighs, turn your left toes forward. We're going to go through that triangle prep. Extend and release. Extend and release. Now extend through the left, extend, extend, extend. Just let that left hand come down to the leg. There's no change in the shoulders here. Turn your left palm out, and if it suits you today, your right arm's up. If it doesn't, your right arm could be right here. Maybe the shoulder's like, I've had enough. I'm not doing that. Play with your gaze. Bend your left knee, bring both hands to your left thigh. Keeping your spine straight, you might come down further, or you might just have both hands gently on your left leg. Bend and straighten that knee a couple of times. And land in straight. This is your pyramid. And then come on back up. Bring the hands to the hips. Heel toe the feet together and shake the body out. Okay, that's all the movements except for the daisy for the moon salutation. You guys ready to go? Okay, so we start with the feet hip width distance apart. Inhale and exhale. We're going to flow through it since we already did all the movements and warmed them up. Float the arms up overhead and sway side to side, daisy. And then open up into 5-pointed star, toes are out. Exhale, elbows to waist, knees over toes, moonflower. Come back into 5-pointed star, turn your right toes forward, left toes in at an angle, arms are long, And we reach, reach, reach to the right. Let that right hand drop to where it belongs on the leg. Palm forward, coming into your triangle. Yes, and putting your gaze where you are happiest. Now go ahead and bend your right knee. Bring both hands to the right leg. If you had your hands on the mat and you want to go back there, that's fine too. Come into your pyramid. We are keeping a micro bend in the knee, and we're keeping the hands light if they're on the leg. We don't press into a straight leg. Float back into triangle. Come on up. All 10 toes out, 5-pointed star, moon flower, and we're going to spring together and daisy. Woo! And daisy. Daisy and daisy and release. Everybody good with that? Okay. That springing together is my favorite part of this. I don't know. A lot of people love the daisy. You think of what your favorite part is. Okay, here we go. Feet are hip width distance. We're going to go the other way. Arms up, inhale, and sway. This is also very nice. Sway, daisy, and daisy. Now open up into 5-pointed star, moon flower, 5-pointed star, triangle preparation. Left toes forward, right toes at an angle, arms are out. Reach, reach, reach. Let that left hand come where it naturally belongs. Right arm is up if you're going there, or hand to the hip is also fine. Place your gaze where it works best for you. Bring your right hand to your left leg. Keep a deep or slight bend in the knee. Some bend is important here. Okay, and come into your pyramid. The hands could be up or down. And then return to triangle. Stand up, turn all 10 toes out, 5-pointed star, moon flower, spring together, and daisy and daisy, daisy and daisy, and release. All right, let's take a nice breath here. We're going to go through that one more time. It's meant to be soft and flowy, so we're just going to keep going. We're going to go directly to the left without stopping in between. Everybody ready? Ready for that? Here we go. Hip width distance. Float the arms up, and we daisy. And 5-pointed star. Moon flower. Back to 5-pointed star. Triangle prep. Moving into triangle. Coming into pyramid. Back to triangle. Coming up, 5-pointed star, toes out, moon flower, spring together. Yes, daisy and daisy. One more time each side, daisy. And open, 5-pointed star, moon flower, 5-pointed star, triangle prep on the left, and triangle. Pyramid, triangle, take it up, 5-pointed star, toes are out, moon flower, spring together, and just daisy and daisy, finish up. And then come back to mountain pose and just feel how your energy is moving now. Feel everything being nourished from the inside out, right? With the breath, with the hydration, with flowing through everything. Come to the top of your mat. And if you have something that you want for final relaxation, like we have rolls now, most of you have some sort of roll, whether it's a blanket or a towel. Maybe you want to rest your knees up on that for final relaxation or whatever. Maybe you have an eye pillow. Get whatever you want. Inhale and exhale. And at the top of your mat, start to listen to what your body's telling you. So is your body saying, look, before we go down, I want to wiggle, realign. I just want to stand here and breathe. I want to get the breath back under me. Just listen to what your body's telling you. Work with that for a moment. And then come back to mountain pose. Close your eyes. Check in from head to toe. Float the arms up, inhale. Exhale, swan dive. Take a half lift, hands down. Now from here, most of us are going to step back to down dog, but if you feel like you have some excess energy to burn, go ahead into your vinyasa, plank, chaturanga, back bend, down dog. We'll all meet in down dog. You get here your way. Remember, this could be a table, you could be working at a wall, and then let your hips go side to side. Bring your knees down, sit off to the side. Take your legs forward. We're back in seated mountain pose. Inhale and exhale. Let's come into Dhyana Mudra for a moment so we can just really feel focused on how things are going in the body. So the feet are flexed, left palm face up, right palm on top of left. Thumbs are touching. Let your hands be at rest. So it's not necessary to have them up here and be all tensed up. Just let your hands be at rest. Close your eyes and try and concentrate. If you feel your mind wandering, the wonderful thing about Dhyana Mudra is you press your thumbs together, and that calls the attention back. And let's release and shake it out. Okay, we're going to do just a couple of very super soft forward folds. We just remember, in triangle, the hands land where they land. In pyramid, in your forward fold, same thing here. Float the arms gently up. And we're folding from the hip creases still with a long spine, but we're just going to let the hands fall where they feel like falling. Maybe feel those hamstrings for a moment. Roll the hands up. Draw the arms overhead once again, melting forward from the hip creases. Just come into a super gentle forward fold. And roll the hands up. Go ahead and bend at the knees here. Take yourself down to the earth. Hands down by your side. Okay. We're going to do some rolling bridges here. So bring the hips close, hands down by your side. The first thing we're going to do is just tilt the pelvis so your pelvis is coming towards you. Your spine goes closer to the mat. And then go the other way so you put more of an arch in your back, tilting the pelvis away from you. Forward and back, pelvic tilts. So it's not extreme. We're not trying to make the back unhappy. We're just rolling pelvic tilts. Now come back to neutral spine. Hands are down by your side. Exhale, and as you inhale, draw your arms up, and behind you, the backs of your hands touch the mat. Bring the hands back down by your side. Now this time, as the arms come up and back, start to lift the hips as much or as little as is working for you right now, and roll down. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to roll up and roll down. Some rolling back bends here. Yes. Okay, the next time you're up with your arms back, stay here. Keeping the hips lifted, bring the hands back down. And maybe from here, if you want to go a little deeper, you're going to walk your heels closer. Some people might want to take their shoulder blades toward each other and try and clasp the hands underneath the hips. You may not. And then release. Put space in between your shoulder blades and slowly roll down, placing the spine down on the mat, one vertebra at a time. Let your spine just hang out in neutral here. Okay? So while we're waiting for the spine to recover from those back bends, take your arms out long to the side. Open and close the fingers, wiggle them around. Rotate the wrists, one direction and the other. Now extend both legs long, both arms overhead, and draw your knees in. Apanasana here. And go ahead and rock around. Okay, giving your spine whatever movement it's asking for here. You could place your hands on your knees and roll the knees in one direction and the other. You can move your legs back and forth, open and close. See what is being asked for here. And then come back to center. Put your hands down by your side. And one more time, we're going to point and flex those feet. Circle the ankles, one direction and the other. Bring the feet down to the mat. Okay. And let the knees gently open and close. Little butterfly wings here. All right, so make sure your spine is nice and happy. Take your arms back out to a T, and we're going to just move the head to the right and up and to the left and up, paying specific attention to the neck. And we started, if you started to the right, when you go left, you'll be finished. You'll be even, come back to center. And now go ahead and let the body guide you into any kind of finishing movements or realignments that it wants right now. Just check in, how's everything feeling? Okay, this is very individual here, so we take a moment to do this so that your body can get what it needs right now. Just move through. And when you're feeling like you're ready, bring your feet, well, hip width distance apart with the knees bent, hands down by your side. And scan your body from head to toe from this position of stillness, making sure that you're in a place where you're ready for final relaxation. So that could mean extending the legs. That could mean putting a roll underneath your knees to elevate them slightly. Bending your knees. Take your feet mat width distance and let your knees come together. Have your arms about 6 inches away from your hips. Palms up is traditional, but if your shoulders are feeling happier with your palms down, you could do that too. Find a place where you can be comfortable for your final relaxation. Inhale through the nose and slowly exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Slowly exhale through the mouth and just allow your body to melt onto the earth. begin to bring your awareness back to your space. Invite a deeper breath. Gently bring movement back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And on your next inhale, stretch the arms long overhead, stretch the legs long, and as you exhale, draw your knees in, give yourself a hug. Find your way over to a side and back up to a nice easy seat. Drawing your palms together as you turn your head to your own good heart and your bright spirit. Thank and honor yourself for your practice, and we thank and honor each other for sharing this time. Namaste.